republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Thomas, as always, thank you very much. All right, I need to call the meeting to order at, what you got, 6:03. All right, roll call, please.
Bonnie?
Here.
Mike?
Here.
Paula?
Here.
Jennifer?
Here.
Faith?
Here.
Brad?
Here. All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
I'll get a second with Faith. Paula first.
Okay. Mike?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Paula?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Faith?
Yes.
All right, thank you all. And I'm gonna apologize, you got your list of presentations, but the Downtown Association wanted to, at least the Small Business Association, they wanted to come up here. If Courtney and Brance, you guys come up here real quick. They're gonna do a quick presentation before we go to Jeremy, because Jeremy, we got some fun stuff for you. All right, if you guys come up here for me, you guys can come all together. If you just push the little button up there.
We just wanted to do a quick update because the signs that were put on those are the first signs that are coming, but kind of really put an exclamation point on the things that the beautification committee's been doing. And we were at this luncheon and everybody was talking and it was just like this awesome energy. If you didn't go to the Women in Business luncheon, it was phenomenal. And I just thought, you know what, it would be great to get everybody in front of the council because half of the room was talking about what was going on downtown between what's going on with Brance's building and these two and a couple of the other things coming that Brance wants to even announce a new partnership. From the planter boxes to just cleaning up the sidewalks and having the Bullitt Central students paint on the glass, you all taking the time to just really take pride in that downtown area. It has allowed us to recruit businesses and really bring in an energy in downtown that we haven't had in a long time. And you keep hearing and you will continue to hear, we're sick of the big boxes and we're sick of people not having things to do for families. Between what's going on in the park and what this group is doing, we are answering that call. So I just wanted to, you drive down, you see the planters, you see those new beautiful benches, you see the awnings, and now those signs, it's just, again, as we were at that luncheon, I thought, what a great opportunity to come just spend a few minutes and say thank you to the beautification committee, those who are on there. Thank you to the things that you all have voted for. Thank you to Jose. And then they each just wanted, I know Brance has a pretty exciting announcement.
We'll talk about your building first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Since
so-
you all are the.
So I got Mike on Saturday because, you know, it means a lot to me and my small business. I've had people go by and say, I'm Ladybugs on Buckman, by the way, if I hadn't said that. People go by and say, I try to find your place. Well, maybe they're not from here or, you know, haven't been here in a while. It's so amazing. Now, I got a text just a minute ago from a girl going to bingo. She's like, I just passed your store. Your sign is beautiful. So that just to me made me so happy. But I did see Mike on Saturday, and I know he's part of the committee.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. I appreciate it from a small business. And I know, you know, Jose, I don't know what all, you know, who did what, but I know the beautification committee was responsible for that. I attended the spaghetti dinner. I've done the silent auction 2 years. I'm happy to participate, but it came back, and I am so proud of it, and I wanted to say thank you out loud.
Okay.
Yes, I want to add to that. I was
Introduce
so
yourself.
amazed by the way it came out.
Who are
It came
you?
out. Oh,
Introduce
sorry.
yourself.
Sorry. My name is Heather. I'm the owner of Graceful Beauty Hair Salon on Buckman Street. Open tomorrow will be 6 months. I'll be open, so I'm super excited. But so I came from a salon in E-Town, so I have probably a little over 300 clients who travel from E-Town, Bowling Green, or the Indiana area who never really set foot in Shepherdsville. So it's really cool because they can come into my hometown and just see why I picked the place I did and how they drive almost an hour away to see me now. And it's great because not only do they stop by and get their hair done, they go to lunch, they go to Troutman's, they go to all these other places now in Shepherdsville, which is just awesome. But I love the sign also because where it used to be the barber shop for so long, it is not updated on Apple Maps. So now people can find me a little bit better. Before they couldn't, you just have like my window logo. So now with the signs, they're able to find me a little bit easier until the Apple Maps is like fixed. But I've been so just grateful and appreciative of everything, especially just being like a female-owned business too. I think it's awesome just to have that support and appreciation, like given back to me. I know me and my husband, we spent 4 months on that building and a lot of money to make it look really, really good. And it's just like, you know, I love the support that I'm getting from the city, just because I feel like it's just like kind of like a thank you back. And again, I can take pride into where I am. So, but yeah. That's it.
Brance, do you want to add something to that?
Well, I'll talk about my building, because my building's just been filled with negativity. So I like to jump out there. My name's Brance Gould, and my wife and I purchased the building on the corner of Joby Hall and Buckman. And, you know, the awnings were put on before I purchased the building, but I know the work that Vicky, I just saw her come in. Thank you, Vicky and Paula. Paula's bench is in front of my building. So we love that. And all the negativity, all about Shepherdsville and the complete ignorance of that page and those who like to fuel the fires of those discussions that don't know the whole story or don't know what's going on. I've grown up in Bullitt County, but I wasn't born here. So my wife was born and raised in Shepherdsville. My kids were born and raised in Shepherdsville. Both graduated Bullitt Central. My daughter's opening a coffee shop in our building. We didn't come from money. If you know me, you know we did not come from money. So everything we have, we're working our butts off to do. And we're investing back into this community with, our investment's gonna be well over $1 million for that corner. So if you haven't driven by it recently, we've already done a lot of changes to it. We've got some exciting news. They're not here tonight, but we have an ice cream parlor going back in to that location on the, that's Fran's currently. That was Cash's Electric Freeze back in the 50s and 60s. So we are bringing, it's coming back. So that we're gonna have ice cream and gourmet candy in that location. We have someone who put in a sip and paint where Kids Country Cupboard was. She's renovating that space right now. We are taking the last 2 spaces that are gonna be the coffee and wine bar. I'm renovating all the apartments upstairs. They're gonna be Airbnbs. Everything is tourist driven. And I'm excited to announce, I just signed a lease. We're gonna have a brand new brewery in Shepherdsville. It's gonna be called Salt River Brewing Company. And they're gonna be partnering with Get Fired Pizza. So we're gonna have wood-fired pizza. So I'm tired of everybody saying Mount Washington is for the families and Shepherdsville is a truck stop. Well, it doesn't need to be. So we're putting our money where our mouths are, and we're trying to bring something downtown for the families, for the community. So we urge all city council, get involved, come down, be part of it. You all need to be the biggest cheerleaders for what we're doing. And if you're, yeah, that's what we require to be successful. And so, you know, we're putting a lot of our sweat equity into.
I've actually seen you work. I've actually seen you work.
A lot, actually.
A lot. My current business wonders where I'm at. They think I quit. So we are putting a lot into Shepherdsville. We love the community. I coached in this community for 10 years. I love the kids. I love what we got. But I want them to not graduate and leave because they don't have anything to do. They don't have any true ties here. So we're trying to give something for all the young kids to do. Come downtown, and with the new park system, it's gonna be amazing. And that was the deciding factor of me purchasing that building, was the new town square and everything that the city's doing with the aquatic center and everything that goes along with it. So thank you, and we hope we make the city proud with what we're doing.
We are really working hard. I just want to make notice, there are three generation families that are investing in businesses in that area. And again, it's not just a planter box, it's blocks of planter boxes. It's them coming and pulling the weeds and watering. It's not just an awning, it's all the awnings. It's keeping the sidewalks clean. It's making it appealing. And then all the things that you guys are voting on makes it easier to recruit things like a pizza place for you to come sit down and have pizza, or a freeze
If
dried.
I didn't have pictures
ice
of
cream
the town
parlor,
square
right.
and tell them everything that the mayor's
Yes.
doing,
And
and his vision that's aligning with our vision for growth for the future, he wouldn't have came. So,
So we just had a lot of conversations going on Friday, and I thought, we're just gonna say, this is amazing, please help us continue it. If you have questions, ask, but I'm telling you, we are really working to make the city proud, bring family, foot traffic into that area, and I just couldn't be more proud. That's it. Thank
So,
you.
so don't go
Do you have any
anywhere.
questions?
Oh, sorry,
No,
yes.
I'd like to say something to you all. First of all, I want you to know that it is about supporting small business, okay? That we want to make sure that you understand it. And I really appreciate what the beautification's done. I see Vicky came in, so I got to give her a little bit of credit in case you didn't hear me say it on the YouTube. But I want to make sure that you guys know that we're all well-intended in what we do. We want to keep developing we want to make sure that everything's a teachable moment.
Sure.
So we did a little research. Some of the things we're doing are not correct. Okay? So,
before you get there, can I give one more thanks?
yes,
I wanna thank Tom
Oh.
and,
Yeah.
and Arthur and
Yeah.
Scott, anything I have needed, because I'm in a 102-year-old building. I have questions, cause I don't know where anything is hooking up, coming in, going out. I call those guys and they have been absolutely awesome. You all have a great
Yes.
city works staff and sewer staff. They are awesome.
so what I want you to understand is as we move forward with this, with the beautification and what the city's part is, we got to put this on hold. I had Catherine do some research, okay? We are actually not following the right way when it comes to what the city can do to help you.
Put what on hold?
We're gonna put on hold anything that the city itself can't actually be a part of assisting, even though we're well-intended, we can't do that. So
In
what
this
I
manner.
in this manner.
In
So
this
what
manner.
so what we're trying to do is,
Beautification.
hold on, stop please, I'm not finished. Let me just finish what I'm trying to say. What we're finding out is, even though we wanna make all this happen down there, between private and public, it doesn't work that way. So we did some research, we called our lawyers, and we found out that we cannot legally assist you in any way, even if we
Okay.
want to help you.
Well, it's more of her, like, they're
Again,
answering
so-
questions.
hold on, I'm going somewhere, I'm going
Surely
somewhere.
there's a way to make it.
So what I need you guys to understand is that Catherine did some research. She's gonna give us options. She's gonna give this council options
Right.
of what we can do. We can either quadrant the whole thing, we can put the beautification in part of the city, we can do a partnership that's out there. We're going to look at ways that we do this legally, because even though we've been well-intended, we haven't done it the right way.
Okay.
So we're gonna fix that. But I wanted you guys, I don't want small
We didn't mean-
businesses, I'm sorry?
No,
I just want to make sure that you all understand that we're just putting it on hold until we find the legal way to do this. Because we don't want to do things wrong. We have been everybody has been focused on making Shepherdsville better, and that includes me. So what we want to make sure that you all understand, when it comes to this, we don't want to do anything wrong. But we want to make sure that Catherine's going to do her research. She's already done some stuff for me already. She's got one city that has the way they work their grant money that works it different to how the funding can be, that they can assist you with things. So I don't, she's gonna get started on this. I'm going on vacation for a little bit, and when I get back, the
She's gonna have
council's
it all
gonna have,
fixed.
she's gonna have information for them to give you guys options of what the legal way is to handle this. Okay, so we wanna make sure we do it right. We don't wanna do anything illegal. We wanna make sure our funding is correctly when it comes to everything. We've been transparent about that. I just think sometimes when you get out there and you wanna make things right, you gotta make sure, especially from a business side, where I come from, we're still learning some things of how to navigate, but we're gonna get there. But I don't want you all, yes ma'am?
I'm such like a believer in God, and I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I think that might have happened for a reason. Maybe we can find a way to make it bigger and better, and even more into there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If she's gonna do research,
So
I think
Kath-
we need
so
to figure
Catherine-
out how to make more.
One of the ways that the city can legally be involved is, I think we've had a beautification committee, and it's been just a committee, and I don't even know if it's got, like an article, like a mission statement or anything. I have no idea, but
number, yeah.
I do, I think that one of the ways that we could do it is the city could actually, if they so choose, the council, one option would be to create a beautification commission. So like we have the ethics, we've got the civic, the civil service. It would take it and it would make it its own kind of, commission within the city. You'd have your open meetings. What we would do is we could have a geographical parameter. We could say, okay, are, and we could have different ones, right? So, and I really think that a lot of, Courtney, what you're doing in different parts of the area would encompass this. So we could say, okay, in downtown, our focus is gonna be from here to here. Let's say we decide it's gonna be from, Buckman at 44 to Buckman at the Salt River, or wherever you also choose. And what the city can do is it can offer grants and people would apply. So, and it would and what we could do is like we can match money or we could assist.
Okay.
By the way, you calling Arthur and Scott about where's this, how's this hook up, that's totally fine because you need to know. So that's totally separate. But it's more the financial, even with respect to Public Works hanging the signs on the private business. We have to be careful because what we can't do is basically pick one business over another. We can't say, okay, we're going to help these businesses, we're going to pick over that.
Absolutely.
But there is a way, and when I talked to Chris Johnson at KLC today, he referred me to Paducah's website. He actually sent me a link, and they have a whole system. They have done a wonderful job, and he has said that the way that they have organized it has really stood up to any issues with any legality issues.
Great. Okay. Let's
So
use that
I think that it's not so much that, like when he said we're gonna kind of put a pause, but we're not gonna stop. It's a temporary stop
Realign.
until we do,
Yeah.
till we start getting things done correctly, and that way there's no issue, and that way even maybe more potential
Right, that's what.
owners will get involved. And so I think that, this could be something that, Courtney, you're already involved in it, Vicki, you're already involved in it, and maybe, just by, taking the beautification committee and making it something a little bit larger, because I think with the growth of the city, with, the new park that's getting done, the new town square, the aquatic center, this community is changing, and I think that having a more robust beautification commission, where we've got maybe some more applications, it is going to be a little bit more work, but
That's what needs to happen. Absolutely.
and I'm not saying that that's the only necessarily way, but it does seem, KLC thinks it aligns, better when, the city just creates it, like, we've created other things. That is an option. I think with, the future residents that we're probably gonna bring in, we've got townhomes that are gonna be getting built. I know that there's some discussion about, I don't even know what I would call these homes, senior living, like true homes though, not patio homes, like independent homes. There's some discussion about trying to do that down the road.
Right.
So with all of that, I think we've got, and all the reasons that you gave about bringing people into
Right.
the downtown business, like, you've got the mission statement already. So I think, you and Vicki would be great at, Vicki, I'm volunteering you. Are you listening to me, Vicki Downey? I'm volunteering. I'm volunteering you.
You're
You
never
already
going
Don't
away.
you do the beautification committee? I thought you were on the beautification committee. Oh, she's running it. Well, anyway, but she can at least help maybe come up with the mission statement,
Well, you can
the
see
purpose, and you
we're
already
not in
know
a
it.
hurry. It's just been really exciting, and again, the room on Friday, it was just like, everybody was talking about it, and I'm like, why don't we go and just tell them?
And I think a lot of what you've been doing for the economic development, we could actually tie some of that into this beautification in terms of what is the goal? Because it doesn't just have to be downtown. You could also say, okay, over in this area, our goal is this. In this area, our goal, and we're gonna help businesses this way. Paducah helps with, because of the age of the buildings, with roofing, with,
Shelbyville does it. A
yes.
friend of mine bought a building in Shelbyville and
Yes.
got a $100,000 grant from their city
Yes.
to redo the facade.
And so if you apply, and the business owners, I think, have to make certain commitments because they have to have skin in the game.
Right.
Which in all these instances, they do have skin in the game. So we've got to figure out what that is. So it's not that we're gonna stop, we're just gonna take a break and figure out how we can do this legally so that you know, we're not picking one, you know, some
And
over
it's-
others, and we can show a public purpose, which I think will be very easy.
Thanks
But
for not
we
just
want-
dropping it.
No, it will not be dropped.
No.
Because we
It'll
need the
just be
city's support for
No,
Yes.
you're missing
Well,
the point. What we're talking about is
we just
we're all,
came up to say-
well, what we're trying to say is that we want to do the things to support you, but there's a legal way to do that. And even though we've been well-intended and we want to do the right things when it comes to you guys, we're still learning. Okay, this is
First of
still-
all, can I say something?
Absolutely.
Okay, there's several people in here that are a part of the beautification. Mike, Deb,
Yes.
there's Karen, there's Lynn, and we do a lot. All the money, we have done several fundraisers, and we have raised lots of money, and all that money has gone to purchase stuff that the city could not afford. The benches on Buckman, we asked people and to purchase benches, and they gladly purchased the benches. The city paid nothing for those. The signs on Buckman, the beautification, we purchased those because we want our town to look better. And the town now looks better than it ever has. I mean, it's got a long ways to go, but it sure looks a lot better. And it's because we're working together. We haven't done anything illegal. We've raised this money because people want our town to look better. And we're constantly doing stuff. Lynn is always, you'll probably see her early in the morning. She's downtown, usually pulling weeds.
Here all the time.
But, anything
Well,
that we can do
I wish she'd
here-
do it at our house. Oh, she does. She does.
Well,
No,
can I,
and,
can I
and,
say
and
something?
Paula, I know I know it's hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's quote illegal. Like nobody's gonna be going to jail or anything. No, but you're still dealing because of the
Yeah.
beautification committees under
Like
the
the
tourism.
sign on Buckman, we purchased that, the one that's on ladybugs and
Yes,
all there.
but even though
But.
Paula, you gotta know that's still
Listen,
city
listen,
money.
listen. They were gonna charge us $600 to put it up. So we asked our city workers to put it up.
You can't do that.
But we
saved
cannot
it.
do that.
Oh,
We
okay.
cannot
That's
do
just
that.
illegal.
Can't do that.
Okay, so I
okay.
feel like this is, we did.
No, you're good.
No, you guys are fine. You guys are fine.
You're
Y'all
good.
can sit down. Y'all are fine.
Hey,
No,
so
Paula,
what?
I understand.
No, you're good. Thank you all. Hey, listen,
appreciate y'all.
thank you all for coming up and talking about what's going on with beautification. Thank you for all that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, and guys, I do think that this city supports you guys.
Yes.
And I hate
That's-
to be the kind of the bearer of bad news. I feel like I always am. But we just have to, you know, like you can get to point A 3 different ways, but we got to get there going the right way, right? And we don't want to go down a wrong lane and still get there and maybe cause an accident. So,
something?
Paula,
Faith, want to say
Public
something?
Works
vexed.
cannot put up a sign on a private
Yeah.
on a private building.
I'm fine with that.
I understand what the intention was. Believe you me,
Yeah.
nobody is like going, "Oh my gosh, we're horrible people for this." I don't want that, but we're just gonna. So I think if we reconfigure what you guys are doing, and you all are doing this, and you're getting this result, I think we can still get this result. We just have to maybe go over here.
And that's fine. We can do that.
And that's
As long
it.
as we have a plan and we know
I
exactly
think,
what to do.
yeah, we are, so that's what I'm gonna be working on. I'm gonna be working with
She's gonna give you-
KLC
yeah, so
to
just-
try to
just, you know,
figure
I'll let
some-
both
a
of you-
proposal out for you guys, and I'm done.
So what I want to make sure, first of all, I get Faith and I get Bonnie here real quick. What I want you all to know, let's put all together real quick, and if, for the group back there, we want to make sure that you understand, okay? We support you, love you. We just got to make sure, as much as we're learning about this, there are guidelines that we have to follow. And we did a little research on it the last few days, and I'm telling you, several days of looking into this, we got to do it right. But we know that you guys are doing wonderful things, you're making great changes, you're investing your hard-earned money in there, and God love you for all doing that, because you're gonna make downtown better. You are already doing that now. So with that said, I know, Faith, did you wanna say something?
Yes, I did. So I did receive 5 phone calls about this. And I do know it's not legal for city employees to do work for private homeowners or businesses, either one. And the people that called me, 2 of them were business owners and 3 of them were residents of the city of Shepherdsville. And they were upset because their tax dollars were being used.
Well, I think it's kind of petty, but, you know, I didn't know.
Paula,
But I didn't
I'm
know
only-
it, but
I'm
I
only
think
saying
it's
what-
very petty. Just look at the city now. It looks better than
Well,
it ever
it looked
has.
25 years ago, it was pretty, honey. You didn't live here then.
No,
But anyways,
I was
I'm
just
gonna
debating.
tell you, I'm gonna finish what I was saying.
that's fine.
So I got 5 phone calls, and, you know, I feel like that it should be brought up. I come up here, Thursday or Friday to talk to you, and you weren't in. So then I got busy. And, but anyways, it isn't right to use taxpayers' money to do business for
We
work.
just said that.
Well, I know, but I told people that I would talk to you about it, or I would bring it
Oh,
up.
okay, talking to you.
And I did come up Thursday,
Oh, okay, okay,
and you weren't here when I come up.
okay.
But, and I'm not trying to start trouble. I know Pam, I went to school with her. I love Buckman Street, I love Shepherdsville. And the city employees didn't do anything wrong, they did what they were told, and that's what I told the people that called. It was not them. But, and I don't know if you got any calls, did anybody else get calls?
Yes, I got calls, and they were all in favor of it, and they were praising the
Well,
signs, and they loved the signs, and they really liked it.
Again, we have a legal way to handle it. All right, so
Okay,
Bonnie,
that's all I got to say.
but yeah,
Okay. Faith's right, we legally can't do that. It's just like we're not allowed to donate money to organizations from taxpayer money. It's their money, we're not allowed to do that. So we can find a way to help, and that's what we're gonna do. We're not turning our backs on anybody. We just have to do it the right way. There's nothing wrong with it, there's no reason to get mad about it. It just is what it is. It's just the law. It's just the law, and we have to follow it. They didn't know. I knew it. I've been here a long time, I knew it. But I didn't find out till after it already happened, or I would have said, hey, y'all can't do that. But I appreciate what was done. It is making everything look better, and that's the big thing. And we can move on from here. There should be some kind of grants that we can get. If we get a grant for beautification of it and we use the grant, then we can use city employees to do things like that. I'm pretty sure.
You can, I think Mount
And-
Washington.
we'll get
does.
there.
So we'll go on from there. So it's not over. We're gonna keep continuing to do it, but just in the right way. That's all there is to it.
Just
is
remember-
There's just a process.
yeah, just remember, the biggest thing for us is, as we want to make sure that, because it is taxpayers' money, that they want to see us invest that across the board. The things that we're doing and the projects we're doing benefits all, right? The park, the town square, all benefits the citizens of here. So again, just learning those things as we go along. I think the biggest thing for you all to get the message from us is that we do. We really think that it's great that you believe in the city of Shepherdsville and the downtown area to invest your hard-earned money. That means as much to me as anything else we could say. With that said, I know we've had a little excitement today. All right. All right, with that said, obviously, I do want to, on a lighter note, Loretta, would you come up here for a minute? This is another one come on up here. If you come right up there and you go right to that, I'm going to come up here with you real quick. We want you to know that she actually brought us a plaque, and I'm going to, you want to go ahead and push that little button on the front of there, the top of that thing, it turns green. There you go.
Hi, I'm Loretta Shirai with the POWMI Veterans Flag Guard. We've been in business for 12 years. We have given out probably over 200 plaques to individuals and businesses flying the POWMI flag. It's very important that we remember there are still over 83,000 missing in action from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, and the Cold War. We can't ever forget that they never came home. They are still returning our loved ones. World War II, they're bringing them up from ships. Korean War, they're finding them in fields, but they're still bringing them home. And it's very important and very thoughtful of you to fly the POWMI flag. Thank you.
Right. So I wanted to let you know, she's very passionate about this. She's actually from my hometown of Vine Grove.
Yes.
And one of the things that we want to do is, obviously, we have the traveling wall, we have the Vietnam
Yes.
Wall here. And next year, we're going to actually put on the Vietnam Veteran Parade. First time ever a parade like that.
All right.
So we're going to have this, so we're going to keep you involved in it. But Loretta also wanted to bring us again to recognize our city does. We will never forget. And I think when you look at all this, we want to make sure that you guys know that right now, we're all working together to make sure we do not forget, and we find ways to do what we can to help these families know, because it's a cost, but they're still paying. So thank you, Loretta. Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for flying my heart, for flying the flag, and I hope you always.
All right. So Jeremy, would you come up here now? But I already told Bonnie to be easy on you today. I was just trying to give you a head start on today.
I think we had all our fireworks for tonight.
Yeah, see, it's all good. Well, yeah, hey, listen, depends on so first of all, let's give an update, and then I know that there's something I want to kind of bring up that a few of us got to experience yesterday, which I thought was a really good thing, so.
Okay. So this Thursday, we have our next planning commission meeting. There are more than one, there's 2 or 3 properties that are actually in Shepherdsville that are on the docket. So I encourage you to take a look at that. It's available online on the planning and zoning website. I've not gotten any calls yet for this one, but next 2 days I'll be in training all day, but I'll be available Thursday and then in the evenings if anybody has any questions or anything they want to bring up. Let's see, I've got it up here. The third meeting for the Bullitt County Comprehensive Plan, the steering committee hearing, will be Thursday, September 19th. I believe that's next Thursday. And that will be in Lebanon Junction. I don't know if that's their city hall. I've got the address, but that is, so the third meeting for the steering committee.
What time is that?
That is,
Sorry.
I just closed it. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
They're generally about around 3 o'clock. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Steering committee. Yes, so it's got 2 o'clock on here. And that is 123 North Poplar Street. So I'm not sure if that's their city hall or not,
Probably.
but that is in Lebanon Junction. Okay, so 3 until 4:30 is what I have.
Yeah, they're just trying to have these in different areas so people can get out and actually talk and see what we're talking about on this comprehensive plan. That's a very critical area down there.
Is it similar to the one that was here?
Yes.
Because I was out of town during that one.
Well, so there's the steering committee, which is it's a smaller group, and it is they've been open to the public. The first one was in the fiscal court building.
Oh, okay.
There was one. The last one was in Hillview, and then this next one's in Lebanon Junction. What you're thinking of, if it was over the EMS center?
Yes.
Okay. So there are several public meetings being held. I'm not sure what the date of the next public meeting will be. So that's a
But
little
if I
bit
call
further.
fiscal court, they can tell me.
Like, yeah, I would call planning and zoning. I would call that
Oh,
number
okay.
first. Charlie staff
And what
will
did you
be.
say that
They
was
might
called?
have it on their website.
So those are the public hearings.
Public hearings, okay.
Yes. Now, I know so for the advisory committee, I know the first meeting was open to the public and there were several people there. I can't remember if anybody from the public showed up at the last one that was in Hillview, but I believe they're open to the public. But you might, if you have any interest, you might check on that too.
Yeah, okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay, and I believe there was one property that fell off the docket today. I haven't actually looked to see which one it is. So I'm not sure if it's one of the Shepherdsville properties, but
Yeah, I'm only seeing 2, I'm looking at it now.
there was one on 44.
Yeah, that one's still on there.
And then,
And then one on Cedarburn Road.
yes,
68 or something like that.
it's,
58.
so it's old, I think it's the old 480 part, or it's
It's a house right there, brother.
yeah, there's a property where they had filled it in several years, or in the last few years, they were gradually filling it up, and it's got a lot of excavation equipment. It's the property right next to that.
Okay.
So it's kind of an
Be a
interesting,
little trailer there, I think.
kind of an interesting area. I think, I can't remember what kind of business they wanted to put in there, but they wanted to go to, I think it was industrial. So that one, I've still got some looking to do at that property, and anybody has.
Is that big enough? How big is that property?
What's
How
that?
big is that property?
Oh, off the top of my head,
I don't think it's that big.
a couple acres at the
Yeah,
most.
it's not that big of a property.
It's-
You
yeah.
can't do
1.25 acres.
yeah, it's not much.
Well, so, and it's one of these where they're asking for industrial for kind of a niche use. It was, I can't remember if it was a tree it might have been a tree business.
Okay.
But so it's, you
You know
know,
where that,
there's
Brad?
several companies that are businesses that are falling into this category where, and it's not just here, there's
No, I
been
got
several in Hillview, where it's not something where you know, typically you think of industrial, it's gonna be warehouses or manufacturing, and it's a lot of times either construction companies that need a yard to, for their trucks, or they're going to be doing some maintenance there as well, or, in this case, think it was a tree business.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet.
So typically,
Okay.
the strategy has been to, if they need this zoning for that for that niche business need, but have no intention of, putting in a larger facility or more intensive business, we typically offer that zoning with the restriction of only that use. So that, if they sell the property, the next owner wants to do something different, they have to come back to the planning commission.
There's several businesses up there too.
Yeah, the property right next to it that I mentioned that had been filled in, because it was pretty low lying, and it's been raised quite a bit over the last few years.
That's my concern, is the other property's lower than that, and with that, how bad that floods right in there.
Yeah,
Are
that's-
they gonna have to build up? If they're gonna put a building in, they're gonna have to build up as well, which is causing a
Well,
problem
and
for everybody
and
else.
We could, through the course of the hearing there, we can ask what their intentions are. We can, in this case, I don't think there was a plat that was provided. So we don't always get that level of detail, which I'd like to get. But at the end of the day, if they get that zoning, or if they need to raise it, they're on the hook to do all that permitting and to get approval from the city, building permits and that. So, as long as they're held to that, I think.
Well, part of the things, you guys actually, in some of your hearings, you actually put restrictions in there. You actually
Yes.
put things, so again, since we know that's because of the elevation that Bonnie's bringing up, we need to make sure that they have a water runoff plan. And the design has to be up front. If you guys are going to let them get approved, it can't, if it goes through getting a favor without any concern about that water, I guarantee you when it comes here, it'll be the top concern.
Right, well,
I can guarantee it.
that's,
I can guarantee it.
the stormwater review
It,
should.
It's a
follow them.
concern because we received tons of complaints over the one on the corner when they put all that dirt in there. It got pretty nasty about it when it went in years ago.
So we're gonna
And
make sure-
they didn't do anything with it.
So we just need to make sure that you start on your end, when you get, to make sure those people know, and you can tell them they're gonna come here, and we're already talking that way.
And that's typically, typically not able to add that type of, that really is, as far as I know, it's required for all new development or, redevelopment.
It should be.
So I bring that up, letting them know, especially if it's in the city of Shepherdsville, that that's
Just
gonna
better
be
tell them they're coming this way.
Yeah, Jose's gonna get you.
No, I got a whole council here that's gonna get them. I got a council that's gonna get them.
And that is one thing that it may be worth me going, reviewing with Arthur, what the stormwater policies for the city of Shepherdsville, because I would be surprised if we didn't have an actual, or like a written requirement for every development to have that full stormwater review and to have a, no increase in net runoff for the site, which, I mean, that's kind of when you have those restrictions in place, everybody has to do it. So it's not like, oh, well, we're just gonna try to get them to commit to doing it as part of their rezoning, like, it would be.
I would just say this, in the last 20 months that we've been in office with this council, I guarantee you, if they don't know what our standards are yet, they're gonna know.
Are our flood restrictions 2 feet above flood, Brenda? 2 feet?
It's only, they are wanting to change it though.
I thought we did 2 feet.
No, we did, and then they backed it off.
Really?
I think the biggest thing is gonna be because.
But the state's wanting to change it to like 3.
To
Until.
3?
That's the last I read. It
So-
hasn't happened yet.
I think that we need to relook at that. It needs to be more than a foot.
I agree.
Well, we have to keep that in mind of what they actually have as standards is from a state and federal level of what we can actually require. But again, just setting the tone for what they need to know before, that's the best way you can help them, because if they come here, they're gonna get a flat no without making any real effort. What's that? Oh, no worries, no worries. All right, so I do wanna brief, just real quick, just one of the things here I wanna bring up, I know that on the 23rd, we're gonna have, folks from the Trinity Life Center come here.
Yes.
All right? Now, I know some of you all had a chance to be there. I get to see 3 of you there. And,
Brad went after.
oh, you did? Okay, good. All right, good. I didn't get a chance to see Brad there. So what I want to make sure is, Jeremy, we're really trying to educate these folks that if they're going to do things like that in these different neighborhoods and what they got planned, is to get to know the neighborhood Get out there and start building relationships and talk. And try to do things on the front end before you get the letter. That's what I call it. You get the letter, that's a planning and zoning issue. So we're really concerned with, are these people talking to each other about making the right set of standards that are gonna make it right for being in that neighborhood? You can't wait till you come to a planning and zoning and then everybody expresses their emotions and nothing gets done but a flat no. Well, some things can't be no. We gotta figure out what it is. And what negotiation between the neighborhoods, and maybe setting a board of individuals from both entities that are working together to solve any problems that come up, and make sure that it is what it said it was gonna be, right? So that's the kind of preface that we need to start doing, because the way it's been working isn't working. It's like pitchforks and torches at these meetings. I've been to about 3 of them. The last 3 of them have been pitchforks and torches. So we need to figure out that piece by getting folks together. Now, I know Trinity's done some good things. They had an open house yesterday, so people can see the facility. Come and see it, get to know these people, at least what they're trying to do. They got, and I do, and I want to thank Faith, Bonnie, Jennifer, and Brad for you guys going. I don't know, Paul or Mike, to get a chance to go, but at least talk to them, and whatever opinions you guys have up here, because that is not my vote. But it is important that people know, I would like to see things like this happen, but I wanted to make sure it's right for that neighborhood, because that's the piece that's really important. You've got families back here, and what are we doing to make sure those things work for both sides? So I wanted just to say that to you, but I think these type of pieces, Jeremy, are gonna help you, but you keep doing you're our messenger. You go out there and you tell them what our requirements are, and I think that piece is gonna help.
Well, and that goes along with I guess the conflict that I had on that last one, where in principle, I would like to see it happen. I mean, I live very close to that, and I would like to see it happen. In practice, though, what they brought to the meeting, I don't think we're prepared to address the concerns of the area. And part of that is, when going through that process, it's, if you don't have, you're not backed by, professionals who are familiar with the process and know what you're gonna encounter, it can be difficult. And so I think as they maybe get some help crafting their message, building consensus with the neighborhood and with the city, I think they've got the essentials that they need. It needs to be better packaged and promoted. And they've done that now.
Yeah, and again, we want every bit of the process, not just this one, but anybody that comes in should be following this kind of, get to know the people, that you're actually building something in somebody's neighborhood or other business district. You should be getting to know you, because eventually, if it works out for you, you've built relationships before it gets to this real, what I call intensity, then nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Okay, because we do that sometimes. Again, I keep saying this, I'll say it probably every meeting. I appreciate your feelings and opinions, but facts matter in the case, right? So I want to make sure that you guys know that we're trying to find ways for these folks to have the best information. So I think we appreciate what you're doing. I think it's working out well, but again, I know that's coming down the pipe. Jeremy, thank you. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, I was going to say, on some of these cases where they may be more controversial or more difficult, typically, so the typical practice is for myself not to meet with anybody who is party to that zoning case. But there have been occasions where it was necessary, and I can do that. I just have to disclose it at the meeting. If there are, I guess, if another case like this comes up to where, somebody or one of y'all know it's going to be difficult, or that, I try to vet those and see, if I, have a feeling for how, if it's going to be difficult. But that's, if you all see that on your radar, let me know. I'm happy to once, getting advice from the county attorney, on the planning and zoning, and making sure that that I'm staying within my guardrails.
Sure.
I am absolutely happy to do whatever I can to help make this process go better.
Well, you've been engaged since you started the process with this, and we appreciate that part. Just keep us, keep everybody in touch on things, and any information helps them make a better decision.
Okay.
You guys good? Got any questions? Anything else? Bonnie, you handled him. You were very nice, and I appreciate that today.
I'm thankful. So I will say,
Did you notice that?
I mean, he seemed really.
I was genuinely, the older I get, the thicker my skin gets. So I'm learning.
It's all good. Just have a little jest.
The beginning of the meeting here, seeing the presentation from those who are working on redeveloping downtown.
Yeah.
I have to say I absolutely love it. I'm familiar with the comments on the Facebook page that you know, for years people have complained, there's nothing for our kids to do, and then now, this is stupid, why are we doing this? And,
It's best not to look at Facebook.
well,
Right.
Well, and I don't,
well,
and I don't think it's indicative of the community.
so,
No,
I guess,
no,
I
it
have,
is not.
I have a household of, I have 5 kids. I get, you know, the youngest one, he's not old enough to know what's going on, but, you know, my kids have, we live close, we bought a house that's, you know, it's a 120-year-old house. We're within walking distance of the city, the park. We're within walking distance of downtown. Anytime there's been, 1 year or for, I don't even know if it was a whole year, there was a bakery that had, you know, donuts and coffee. I was putting, you know, Google reviews out and sharing it on Facebook, and it, you know, it struggled, and, you know, there was a coffee shop at one point, and, you know, my wife and kids, you know, even my wife can drive, but she was walking over there, and to have businesses like that are within walking distance of a large area, I mean, I think it's great for the community, but, you know, I've even had people question me lately that, like, how is this gonna work downtown? People, who's gonna wanna go down there to a business? And what it really takes is complementary businesses. And so when you have a hair shop and there's a coffee shop next door to where maybe you get it beforehand or afterward, and there's some, you know, these businesses that feed off of one another and that you could park in one spot and go to several of them, which is what it's like when you go to Bardstown or Glendale, which I'm not saying we're gonna be Glendale or Bardstown. We don't have that volume of old, you know, that, I wish we had more of the original set of buildings, but, I think.
None of those flood though, you have to look at that.
What's that?
They don't flood.
That is true. We have to be able to withstand that and be prepared for it. And, you know,
I've seen a lot of the floods here.
well, I moved into the floodplain eyes wide open. I know one day it's coming, and just,
Crazy ailments and floods.
yes.
Jeremy, thank you. We
Yeah,
appreciate
so-
your time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. All right, buddy.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Are we
We're done.
Let's see.
There you go. Thank you, Jeremy. All right, if you look at your agenda here, we got a presentation proclamation. City of Shepherdsville Proclamation 24-05. Whereas childhood cancer is the #1 cause of death by disease in children, and Kentucky ranks 4th in the nation for childhood cancer diagnosis, with a childhood cancer rate of 7.2 higher than the national average. And whereas, on average, 1 in 285 children and teens, approximately 43 per day, in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer before their 20th birthday. And whereas at any given time, approximately 40,000 children in the United States are undergoing active treatment for cancer. Whereas the average of a childhood cancer diagnosis is just 6 years old, compared to 66 years of adult cancer diagnosis. And whereas 2/3 of the childhood cancer patients will experience chronic health conditions as a result of the toxicity of their treatment, with 1/4 of these conditions being classified as severe to life-threatening. And whereas Kentucky has emerged as a leader in the fight against childhood cancer, raising awareness and funds for research throughout the Kentucky Pediatric Cancer Research Trust Fund. And whereas hundreds of nonprofit organizations at both the local and national levels are providing invaluable educational, emotional, and financial support to children with cancer and their families. And whereas researchers and healthcare professionals are tirelessly dedicating their expertise to treating and curing children with cancer. Yet too many children continue to be affected by this devastating disease, highlighting the urgent need for increased awareness and research to find a cure. And whereas multiple families in Shepherdsville, Kentucky are affected by childhood cancer, and our community has shown tremendous support through donation drives for their items needed by families at Norton's Children's Hospital and Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And whereas in 2024, I, Mayor Jose Cabero, has the opportunity to recognize Childhood Cancer Awareness Month at a city council meeting. Therefore, I, Jose Cabero, Mayor of Shepherdsville, do hereby proclaim September 13th, 2024 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Day in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. I encourage all residents to observe Childhood Cancer Awareness Day by wearing gold and supporting this cause that profoundly impacts numerous families in our community. Something that, if you've been touched by that, I can't even imagine. So God bless all of our families, not only in Shepherdsville, Bullock County, the state, and in this country. But having awareness is the first part of all of us being compassionate enough to understand. Family and friends that are going through something like this, I can't even imagine. So this day, September 3rd, 2024, we make that proclamation. I wanted you all to know that. I'm sorry.
I'll have my goat on.
All right, so if you guys want to come up here, I'll tell you what, if you want to go right over that way, I've got your cup, yours here. Come on up here. I'm going to stand you all up front of this thing. We're looking at people up front. Come on, get you up here, come on, get everybody up here. Can we scoot everybody in? Come on, how do we want to do this? Is that good right here? Yeah. I want you to hold this, you got an important job, okay? Got that? All right, thank you all. God bless you. Sometimes we just don't know how blessed we are. All right, old business. Ms. Catherine, we need a second reading on ordinance 024-032.
Summary of ordinance 024032, an ordinance amending the Bullock County City Zoning Order and the Bullock County City Zoning Map as amended, changing the zoning of 5.2 acres more or less located at Cooper Run Road and Bel Air Drive in the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky, also known as parcel 037 SE001017C from B1 Highway Business to IL Light Industrial. Sponsored by Councilmember Brad Whitaker, co-sponsored by Councilmember Mike Hibbard. Summary, Section 1 sets forth that the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission held a public hearing on June 13, 2024, docket number 2024Z-31, and recommended that the Bullock County City Zoning Order and the Bullock County City Zoning Map be amended to change the zoning of 5.2 acres located at Cooper Run Road and Bel Air Drive, also known as parcel 037 SE001017C, hereinafter subject property, from B1 Highway Business to IL Light Industrial. Section 2 sets forth that the City Council had its own public hearings on July 22, 2024 and August 26, 2024. Section 3 sets forth the following findings of fact. A, that the current zoning classification of B1 is inappropriate because no other properties in the area are zoned B1, and B, that the proposed zoning classification of IL is appropriate because there are properties in the area totaling over 500 acres that have been zoned IL. These properties touch the subject property. Additionally, the construction of the new interchange has changed the physical and social nature of the area. Section 4 sets forth that the City Council approves the recommendations of the Bullock County Joint Planning Commission with restrictions as set forth in the zoning restriction agreement attached as Exhibit A. Said restrictions are as follows. 1. Only B1 uses as defined in the official zoning regulations of Bullock County for B1 zoning shall be allowed on the subject property, with the only exception being use of the subject property as a tow lot. 2. No vehicle shall be parked or stored on the subject property for a period of time greater than 1 year unless ordered by a court of competent jurisdiction. 3. The term tow lot means a holding place for vehicles that is operated by a towing company and regulated by KRS 281.920 to KRS 281.936. 4, the terms of the zoning restriction agreement are deemed as covenants running with the land which do touch and concern the land and are intended to burden the subject property and benefit the city. And 5, the current property owners of the subject property shall take all necessary action to record the zoning restriction agreement in real property records, including but not limited to the subject property's chain of title in the office of the Bullitt County Clerk in a manner required to put the future successor in title on record notice of the zoning restriction agreement. Section 5 sets forth that the Bullitt County City Zoning Order and the Bullitt County City Zoning Map shall be amended to change the zoning of the subject property from B1 Highway Business to IL Light Industrial with restrictions as set forth herein. Section 6 sets forth a severability clause. Section 7 sets forth the repeal of prior ordinances in conflict with this ordinance. Section 8 sets forth the publication requirements.
I know we've had some discussion on this. Bonnie, you're the first one I think of. I know we've had some different ones about this. Do you guys have any questions before we make a motion to? We're good? I mean, I just want to make sure. And I
I'll
wasn't.
make a comment when I vote.
All right, we'll do that. All right. So I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Got Brad on the first.
I'll second.
Second by Faith. Ms. Brenda?
Bonnie?
My vote is no. And my reason is, I think that Bullitt County Planning and Zoning is bullying the owners of this property, and I think it's wrong. They made a decision outside their scope.
Okay, thank you, Bonnie.
Mike?
I'll vote yes. And I'll make a comment that, I know Bonnie had addressed before that we are changing this to light industrial. We've made some changes to some other rezonings that I don't know how this would hold up, but I guess time tells. But she wanted to make sure that the current resident was not affected by this, okay? And I agree with that, but I just, I think I addressed with Catherine the fact that the ones that are now B1, are they going to just be grandfathered as B1 or
Yes.
wait until a change?
That's what Charlie said. They would be grandfathered unless they did something different, like
To their
expanded
property.
or something.
All right.
That is his position in writing.
Yeah. Well, for that reason, I vote yes.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Paula?
I have some concerns about it, so I vote no.
Jennifer?
I also don't agree with some of the stuff that's in here, so I'm voting no.
Faith?
I have to, even though I seconded, I just wanted to get the vote on it, I vote no also.
Okay. So you all
I have
do know that
concerns.
they approved it, right?
Right.
Brad?
Okay, I just want to let y'all know that you all are actually taking away any restrictions. I mean, I think they said it would be used as a tow lot, but now it will not, it could potentially not be enforceable. Just letting you know that.
I'm voting no on my principle, not because I agreed to do this because it helps the owners, not
Right.
planning and zoning. I'm voting no because I said no matter what, I would still vote no. I still think that to help them, we need to have it passed. I'm just sticking to my reason of how I feel like planning and zoning is bullying these people into it.
I agree, they are.
And so I need to think.
They
we
should be
need-
grandfathered in like the other ones.
I agree, they should be grandfathered in, they were already made that. And so, we're at a stickler here of, if we don't pass it, we're punishing the property owners.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is my
well, they're
thing.
not-
I'm voting no because
No,
I want planning and zoning to
If you guys
understand how I
don't
feel.
pass it and then you decide to overrule their decision and keep it B1, they will not be able to operate it as a tow lot.
And then they close the business.
This was,
I just don't like the restrictions that we're putting on. I don't agree with them. If we're gonna make it light industrial, we need to make it light industrial. And they need to follow those rules, and that's what I've said. If
Okay.
we're gonna leave it B1, we need to leave it B1. But saying, oh, we're gonna put this on here, I don't agree with that. That's what I don't agree with, because we haven't done it to any other businesses.
But that's what these people wanted.
yes.
Yes.
They came,
They wanted this,
they
not
came
us.
to us because they were concerned it would not be voted light industrial. and they said, hey, in order to get this passed, we are willing to do all of this.
Well, and like I said, mine is not on the
So-
principle, mine is on the fact that we either make it light industrial or we make it B1. That's just how I see it. It's one or the other. We're not, I don't like all this, well, we're gonna put this on here that it can only be a B1 business, but it's listed as an, light industrial and, only they can use it as a tow lot if they're gonna use it as light industrial. No, it's either light industrial or it's
I understand your point.
Okay.
But
And
it's
that's why I
what they
vote no.
asked for.
That's why I'm voting no.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Tom.
Can I ask you a question, since I should have asked this other times? The motion failed, correct?
No, we haven't finished the vote, actually, I interrupted the vote. Did you
We're
think,
not finished.
we still have Brad, which technically will have failed,
We
but,
have one meaningless vote. I vote yes. I think if we don't approve this, we're putting these property owners and this business in a very precarious position. The county is going to force them to close their business. And I think we worked really hard to mete out an agreement where they agreed to operate this under B1 restrictions to have the IL zoning. And they agreed to put that on the deed, so that they could, to preserve the continuity of their business. So for that reason, I'm voting yes.
So Catherine,
I can't vote on this, but I want, no, that wasn't what I was gonna do. I just want you to make sure you know what you just did. You,
Catherine,
you just made all that time, you just spent all that time making conditions for these people to keep their property what it was, and then you come back and do this. This does not make any sense to me.
I'm gonna change my vote to yes against my principles. I'm going to vote yes because this is.
We
what
can
the
pick the
property
fight,
owners
we can
asked
pick that
for.
fight later. Right now, we wanna take care of these people.
But I will make it clear, planning and zoning, I'm mad at them for
No,
what they're doing to these.
and we can do that, but what you guys can't do, you spent all this time, you took taxpayers' money, and you spent the time to do this, and then you go vote no. And I'm also gonna call it out. You make a motion, then you say no. I don't
a
even
lot of
understand.
people do that, and we can do that.
Okay, I didn't say you
I
couldn't.
didn't make the motion, I made the second.
I meant the second. My thing for everybody up here is, we did this to try to help these people, and then you come back. So go tell those people that they can't have that.
okay,
I'm
well,
changing my vote to yes to do what's right for those people.
okay, well, okay. So as of right
You
now,
have to rescind your,
It's still a time.
vote.
as of right now, it is,
3-3.
If you get Bonnie on it, it's 3-3.
who else,
It's
who
3-3.
else voted?
Bonnie,
Yeah.
Mike, and Brad voted yes.
Okay,
Other three voted no.
Mike, Brad,
This
it's
isn't
still,
about- This isn't about what we want. This is about what's right for the citizens.
okay.
Well, then
So-
we need to go after this with the next round.
Yes.
We don't need to
We're
allow
going
this.
to, Kathleen.
Wasn't that the idea?
Catherine and I are going to work together on writing our own ordinance for tow lots.
That was,
Or
Okay.
not ordinance, but for the
I
zoning
got
of the tow lots, that's what we're gonna do. And we're
Okay.
gonna change this, and we're gonna change this, because I'm not gonna let planning and zoning do this to
and
anybody
nobody's
else.
disagreeing with that piece. What I'm just saying is, you spent the time to get to this point,
Yes.
and then you voted down.
We do this with a lot of stuff, though.
No, not that much.
Well, I'll change my vote to a yes then, so these people don't suffer.
Well, and then, let's regroup, and then let's go fix that, right? So you work.
And I'll help you.
Brenda,
I'd
what's
like
the
to help you with
proper
that
way?
too.
You all can be involved.
What do you need to do
Oh,
for
I'd
this
love
to
to.
happen?
Huh?
I was asking Brenda
Oh,
what
I'm
she
sorry.
needed to, what needed to be done to actually
Can we change it?
Yeah, you can
rescind,
Do
sure.
we have to rescind our vote?
Yeah, rescind and.
We have-
I'm gonna rescind my vote from no to yes.
So Bonnie has a yes, and you have Brad for yes.
I'll
Jennifer, no.
rescind my vote
Paula,
from a
no.
no to a yes
Okay, so now you got 4 to 2.
for the family.
Okay.
Yeah, only for the
Only.
citizen, not for planning and zoning.
Yeah.
And I hear that, and I think that's important, okay? Okay.
We can't let the government screw us over. Yeah. Remember that.
You are the government.
I am the
I got really confused there for a minute.
Business is screwing people over, it's wrong. It's wrong. And you can't let.
It is.
Continue to do that.
Well,
And you can blame me, but I did not waver, okay? I have not been for this,
That's okay.
this whole time. So you acting like it's my fault that these people.
Nobody
you know-
said-
Dude, you just
Dude.
berated us.
Stop. Okay, we spent the time.
You literally
Okay,
berated us.
Jennifer,
I did
we're
not, I knew what I was gonna do.
Jennifer, we're not gonna ask
So
this in
it's
this
not
meeting.
my
We're
time.
not gonna do this.
But
in
don't
this.
berate me in
Okay,
front of
I
everybody.
will make sure that you understand.
You literally
Please,
talked
you please
to us
just-
like dogs.
Be calm, be calm. All right, with that said, we got a 4-2 vote, correct? All right, so now that it's passed, Bonnie, thank you, and Faith, thank you, and let's go fix it, let's go fix it, okay?
We will, we'll work on it.
Yep. Yep, I know you
I'll
guys
start
will.
researching stuff.
Okay, all right. All right, we have, make sure I got the right,
New business. Oh,
let's make sure I got next. We got that, we got that. Location, we did that one. Oh, resolution. Go, yes. All right.
here it is.
Yeah, you
Where's,
got the-
here it is. Oh, I got it.
The resolution.
Yes, this is the resolution, 2024-014.
City of Shepherdsville Resolution 2024-015, a resolution of the City of Shepherdsville in support of Vision Zero. Whereas the U.S. Department of Transportation, US DOT, I don't know how you pronounce that like that, has developed a discretional grant program to address roadway safety through the Safe Street and Roads for All SS4A program, and the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky was awarded a SS4A grant, and whereas through the adoption, am I reading the wrong one?
No, I'm looking at the number. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You said 1.5 and I've got 1.4.
It's
I
1-4.
said 1-4.
It's 1-4.
I said
Oh, I thought
1-4.
you said 1.5.
No, she said 1-4.
Okay, so, okay, continuing on with this.
Whereas,
Whereas, through the adoption and implementation of the Bullitt County Comprehensive Plan, the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky established improving safety of its transportation system as one of the community goals. And whereas the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky aspires to reduce and eventually eliminate traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries on its roadways, and whereas the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky is moving toward implementation of the AA4A grant through the efforts of developing various reports from data analysis and a community engagement program to identify safety improvement projects. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Shepherdsville, Kentucky hereby establishes a goal of achieving 0 traffic fatalities and serious injuries by the year 2050.
All right, so just so you all know, we're part of a committee that's street safe. There is grant money to help us improve our roads, whether it's other signal lights, like better crossings. You better stop. I'll tell somebody. You better stop. She's gonna get in trouble.
I love roundabouts.
She's gonna get in trouble.
they have one in
All right.
Fairdale.
So, all right, so what we're gonna do is that there's grant money for us, especially when you think about crossing 44 with the 2 schools. Better crossings, I mean, lights that go off, I mean, to make sure it's safely for those kids to go field trips into the new park, all the different things and see the wetlands and all the fun stuff. So there's money like that out there. So we're doing this with the county. We're making our resolution to be a part of this, and the money that's out there, we want to make sure that people know that, you know, there's money out there that we can actually help enhance what we're doing. As we grow, these things are gonna be more important to us, right? I mean, safer roads, better lighting, better signage, the kind of things that we want out there. So this is where funding comes from, and it was a great conversation. Most of the people understand the fatalities where most of them have. If you think about 44 and Adam Shepherd, 41 and 61, obviously they were on 65. You can go into Shepherdsville and actually Mount Washington, or even Hillview and Mount LJ, and see where the intensity is. What do we do to try to help save that? Saving 1 life, 2 lives, however we can do that. That's why that grant money's out there. So I've asked Mike, at an economic development meeting, did I not, Mike?
Pardon?
Remember the economic development meeting we were at together? I'd asked maybe him, if anybody else would love to be a part of it, it's great. I want to get more people involved in looking at how we do that. So think about it. If anybody else wants to do this with Mike, I'd love to have a couple of folks and have you in these meetings when we do this with the county, because we're going to have the other cities involved as well. So good stuff. Thank you, Ms. Catherine. All right. All right, next on the agenda.
We need a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. All right. All right.
Motion.
Thank you. Second, and who's second?
Paula.
Okay, all right. Ms. Britta? You getting ready, Miss Emily?
Yes.
Yeah?
Faith?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes, but this is the kind of stuff I want emails on. Like, I wanna know about this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Paula?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
And Bonnie?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. What's it?
HDMI cord.
Oh, it's on the other, yeah. I don't know how I got switched to that TV.
Yeah, I don't. Do we know? I mean, it's right there. She's gonna turn it on for you real quick.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
It's pretty well.
All right. Well, go over there.
Almost, you can pull it.
Almost.
It's
I was
got-
gonna say, yeah, it moves.
Yeah, if you go there.
Yeah, come on,
There you
guys,
go.
get up here and help her, gentlemen.
Come on. All right, that's good. All right. All right, so this is our,
As usual, Emily, one
Why don't
doing
you-
all the work.
all right. All right. So Catherine, I'll let you kind of get started with this. This is, all right, so as we all know, before we get started, if you all remember council, Chris was here last year with us and has made some changes, some things here for everybody. So what we'd like to do is let them make their presentation with their developer here as well to talk about what's going on. Emily?
Thank
Chris,
you.
how you guys doing?
Emily Vessels here on behalf of Chris Wilson. We also have Chris Thompson with Alter Development and Adam with the Weber Group. They're the two developers partnering with Chris Wilson on this. And we also have Ted Bernstein with LD&D, who's with us last year, who prepared the original plan and also prepared the revised plan. We were recently at the Planning Commission where we received a favorable recommendation for the rezoning of the front portion that faces North Buckman Street. And we made significant changes to the plan we'll discuss in a couple slides, and revised it after your all's comments to try to put something that we feel the community needs and will be a good fit for this area.
Brad, can you see okay? Jennifer, you guys okay? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to highlight the portion that we are requesting the rezoning for, it's that front parcel on North Buckman Street. And that's actually, there's not gonna be any residential housing units on that front part. It's just gonna be like the entrance to the apartment complex. So before, there were, I think, 2 buildings on that front parcel facing North Buckman, but now all of the buildings are set further back away from North Buckman. It's gonna be a nice entrance that has some parking, a mail kiosk, and a trash compactor, so that when residents are leaving, they can do those types of things before they leave or before they enter into the site. To highlight the changes from the previous plan that we presented to the plan that was approved at the last Planning Commission meeting, we removed the access to Bishop Lane. I'll go back to that first rendering. So there's significant buffering along Bishop Lane where those single-family homes face, so they won't be able to see the apartments from their end. We reduced it to 10 buildings. They're gonna be 2-story buildings. We provided a larger detention basin. And again, development is going to be set further back from North Buckman Street. It's just going to be an entrance on that front parcel. Then we also added a clubhouse, a pool, and a dog park to add to those amenities. And they're, before it was going to be a 3-story townhome, bigger square footage. Now it's going to be 2-story apartment buildings. I think it's going to be two rooms per each. And
1 and 2 bedroom apartments.
yeah. If you look on this area, you'll see the mostly commercial development, how single families further back. There's no like transition really other than the old harbor apartments. So there's not anything really in that area that provides this type of housing or transitional housing for the area. And we feel like it fits nicely in transitions from the heavier density developments to the single family homes, and provides another option on Buckman Street and nearby everything the city's doing to make it a better downtown area. So this is a rendering of what they propose to build. Again, the 2 stories, going to be very nicely done. Weber Group, just the next photos I'll show you are Livano, and they're in the east end of Louisville. Really nicely done. They are 3 stories though, so they're going to be significantly smaller than what the actual development I'm showing you. But just to give you all a visual of what they've done in Louisville, it's something similar that will be done at a smaller scale here in Shepherdsville. So you can see the playground, the pool, adequate parking, and then again, there's 3 stories, but it'll be 2. Again, the pool area. And then this is inside where it's got updated kitchens and bathrooms and just a really nice option for Shepherdsville that I don't think is necessarily in this area right now. And then just to emphasize the comprehensive plan, it just states that we need to encourage this type of housing. So instead of having spread out single-family developments, that we are encouraging compact developments rather than an urban sprawl, specifically near your downtown area. And just to highlight the need, this is a survey or data that was done by the Kentucky Housing Corporation showing that in Bullitt County, you need about 1,200 units in Bullitt County right now for this type of multifamily developments. And that's all we have. If you guys have any other questions on this, we didn't really have any.
Where are the entrance, there's two entrances, correct?
No, it's only gonna be one entrance now. Yes, so it was, we did have that entrance on Bishop Lane, but now it's going to be buffered with trees. That's where the detention basin's gonna be. So everything's gonna be more towards the center of the larger parcel and pushed back from North Buckman.
The retainer basin is doubled in size.
Yeah, that was a
as
critical
far as,
piece that we talked
So
about.
that there's a lot more volume there. And we've agreed with Arthur to put a concrete ditch from the back of the property
Yes, sir.
to Preston.
Okay.
And we're making precast forms to install that ditch, so.
Okay.
You can see the clubhouse and the pool in the center of the development there.
Yeah.
I've kind of been watching it. Is that what that big hole is, the detention?
I'm sorry?
I've been watching the area.
Yeah.
And I know y'all dug a pretty good sized hole there.
Yeah, that's where, that's the retention basin.
That's what I figured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll look like a really nice lake, you know.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah. But we needed all that dirt to get it, you know,
Right.
up to plane.
What kind of buffer are you putting between you all and Big O Tires?
Well, we're gonna have to have the required fencing or
Right.
Landscaping, so.
Yeah. And on the back side of the basin, he's got drawn up, you know, like some tree line behind there to keep it. And our biggest concern on the exit we had in over to Bishop Lane is that putting more traffic on that road, that's kind of a hairy spot getting in and out of. And down where the entrance is gonna be, it'll be away from that light where you're not caught up in, you know, in that cross traffic.
I have a question.
And we need housing.
Yeah.
We really do. And that- I mean, what-
Yeah, this is awesome thing.
And this is Chris Thompson, and he's with Ultra Construction, and he works with the Weber Group. And the plans are on it is he's gonna help with the construction on it. And when we complete the project, I believe he's gonna buy it outright and manage it for several years.
I think the critical pieces are development as it goes along, every 30 days, kind of a schedule that we have our folks just coming by, checking, doing. Because that process, to be honest with you, she's mentioned about planning and zoning, whether it's lack of staff or whatever it is, those things aren't happening. And all developments here in the cities, we're not picking on anything with the residential. That piece has to be more enforced of what we're doing every 30 days. What kind of schedule? Where are you at with your schedule? What are we looking for? You know, if we're talking about all the plumbing and all that, what's happening on the foundation piece, right? Where's that dirt going as you keep moving it around? That's a big deal to us because of that water. And that's what we're looking at. The basin's gonna be a nice thing. I think the pool, I think, is really nice to have. It's be nice for that kind of a apartment. And I think what you're doing fits more of, and maybe the message was last year, maybe thinking about who you were and who's the neighborhood. I think you've made some nice balances here, and we're excited to see this, so appreciate that. I mean, we wanna be partners with everybody. We wanna make sure that people know that we appreciate wanting to invest in our city. So we appreciate both Chris and Chris. We thank you for that. You guys got any questions?
I do.
No worries.
Paula does.
Oh, Paula, what do you have?
I was just wondering, do you have any idea, like, what they're gonna be renting for?
We talked about this at the planning commission, and it's gonna be market price.
Yeah.
I think that we looked at, when I was looking at, Old Harbor apartments, I think they're at like 1,200, so I think they're thinking like 1,200 to 1,500 or something around there.
Hang on.
Okay, what's next to that? What's that next to that? Oh, okay. So that's not your problem.
Development and Weber, they
How many units? How many units? Hey,
It
Chris?
was 100 and,
Yeah, the entrance is very good. That's a much better entrance.
64.
what'd you, what, 168.
160, okay. Well, we definitely need.
This corner of that, yeah.
God, I can't hear numbers today.
And the planning commission.
All right,
Hang
hang on,
on,
hang
hang
on,
on.
whoa,
Hang on, stop.
We got too many conversations. We need to know what you guys are saying, and we need to know what you guys are saying, and we're now, us here don't know either one.
we hear both
So,
of them. No worries.
Paula and Emily, what were you all saying? What
Oh,
were y'all
I just
discussing?
asked her how much the rent was gonna be.
Okay, and,
And she
And I
answered.
said it's probably 12 to
You know,
1,500,
just
maybe a little higher. Old Harbor Apartments, when I looked online, I think it was like around 1,200 for an apartment there.
Yeah.
Just an estimate.
Again, looking at this apartment complex,
Right, it's a lot
I
newer.
mean, you're putting it in
Yeah.
place,
Newer
perspective,
amenities and
but I would tend to
amenities.
believe a little bit more than that.
But just
Okay.
standard market for the area.
All right,
Oh,
well,
we asked.
Off of, Lulek, they're a lot higher too. Shepherds.
really?
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay.
Emily, I know they're only voting on the,
Front porch.
1.2 acres,
Mhm.
but did planning commission, approve the
The
changes
change
on
of
the
the,
other?
yeah, the only change that we requested was for the binding element, because since it was townhomes, it was a larger, townhome that was being rented to the real last unit, so now that we've made them only 2 stories, and now they're apartment, style, we've requested, higher units, it was
Okay.
168.
Yeah, wasn't it 90 something before?
It was, yeah, I think it was 90.
Something like that. I can
80 or
remember.
90.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
But the square footage is probably about the same because the other units that we proposed before were very large
Yeah,
units.
3,000 versus
These
the
are gonna be
13,
the 1 and 2
1,400.
bedrooms.
Yeah.
That's a little more affordable.
Any more questions?
Yes.
Okay.
So how long will it take for everything to be
I want
finished?
to say, probably 2 years, probably,
Okay.
give or take.
That's with everything in the pool and,
Yeah.
okay.
The, and then that depends on, there's factors, LG&E getting transformers and different things that are out of our control, but,
Yeah.
but give or take, probably 2 years.
But you're gonna finish one section first, like, and get them
We'll
rented?
probably
and then-
we'll probably start here, go down that back row, and because we need to put the undergrounds, because the undergrounds will go in the parking lot there. And then we'll probably start along the back row. These, along Big O will probably be the last ones, because we're gonna probably get dirt out of the foundations on the back side and cutting in the roads to help us fill that last bit over on the side.
Thank you.
So just to remind the council, this is the one where we're only voting on the 1.2 acres, the entrance. Do you have a picture of just the entrance, Emily? Just
I
the-
don't have it from like the street view, but I have, this slide, this shows
Okay.
this.
Okay,
Okay, so it's next to the parking lot, Big Oaks
Right,
parking
and
lot.
Yes.
it's, on the PVA, it's a
So-
large parcel, but we're just doing a portion of that parcel, and
Okay.
he's gonna consolidate it after zoning's approved and everything and record a plat.
So just a reminder, that's all that
yes.
council's voting on is that piece. This is the property I talked to each of you guys about, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will.
Thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
So
Jennifer.
council,
Jennifer Osman.
okay.
Okay.
So you want me to prepare an ordinance to, approve the
Yeah.
zoning? Okay. I will draft that ordinance.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Chris, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Ted, that was Ted.
You need a sponsor on this at this time, Kathy.
Good faith.
Do what?
Sponsor.
Jennifer said she would,
For
sponsor it,
this next one?
but if anybody wants to
Oh,
co-sponsor,
hey,
they
Chris,
can.
so Joe,
Joe Kaufman,
you wanted to speak?
speak on this one.
Yep. 3 minutes, Joe.
How about two?
All right, you take it, you get to 3, you get 3.
Joe Kaufman, 411 Centerview Drive. I went to the planning and zoning when they had this because I actually have 3 friends from Louisville, one from Fern Creek and 2 from Hirschborn that wants to move out here, but they couldn't find any apartments or housing. And I think I've heard you all say in other meetings that we need those.
We do.
So I talked to both Chris's, I talked to the engineer, I talked to Arthur to see what they were putting together and making sure that, they're not gonna do anything that you all don't want them to do. They did change and went above and beyond, Mr. Wilson did, of asking what you all wanted. And I didn't know this till I asked him, but he does live across the street. He's been there, I think he said 5 years. So, I think this is a good plan, for everybody. And I just wanted to let you know that, planning and zoning did approve it. There was only one guy that said no, but he said no to all of them. There was one resident there from Bishop Lane, but she had talked to Mr. Wilson before the meeting, and she was satisfied with what he was doing and not having that access road going through there and everything. So I think it'd be great for City of Shepherdsville to have something as beautiful as that, because I don't know of any other apartments here would look like that.
Well, that's what we're excited about it for.
So thank you.
All right, thank you, Joe. All right.
Is there anyone else here that wants to speak on this? Okay.
All right, City Attorney with the rezoning of Cedar Grove Road.
So next up is, who's here for the rezoning of, just over 1 acres at 610 Cedar Grove Road?
Thank you all.
Who's here to speak on that? Nobody came to speak on that.
No?
Okay.
They didn't listen to county when they said you have to go to the city.
I don't think they really had a problem with it.
Yeah, nobody, they're just gonna, it was
I went over and looked at it,
his grandmother, his grandmother passed, but he,
and I'll sponsor it.
Okay.
okay.
Faith said she would sponsor.
Okay. Well,
So we don't,
they approved it, right? You all could simply take no action and it will pass. And considering that you all have not heard anything, no one's come.
Do you all know where it's at?
I
Do you
think-
know where
it's by the,
airport was?
yeah, where the liquor barn is, yeah.
I'll say it's by the barnyard, right?
Yes, the one stone house
I mean,
that's
I
right
guess
there
my-
between,
Before barnyard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there's a
Stonehouse
business.
next to the
Yeah.
barnyard?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was,
Long stone
what's his
house.
name's house?
it's the grandson that
Was.
came to us. He came to us just wanting to change it to business because of all that's right there.
Yeah.
And I do
Yeah.
think it
Well,
does.
Philip Cap's on the building next to it.
I mean, it
Was
fits
that
the
his
area.
house too?
That's where he lived.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it fits the area though.
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Yes, and I think the future use is
Is
this.
Yeah.
I say, yeah,
It's just, you guys haven't had any,
nobody's here to speak for it or
So-
against it,
For
why
it or-
can't we just go ahead and do it?
Yeah, that's where
Do we
Phil.
make a
Do we
motion?
still have to do 2 readings and everything? Or
Well-
We still have to-
or just, we just leave it alone?
you either leave it alone and it happens by default, or if we wanna change it, we have to do it by ordinance.
Oh.
So you can't just make a motion to like, well, I guess you could, but you
Yeah.
can't. You've gotta make a motion, or you've gotta have an ordinance to approve the zoning, and I'm
Okay.
fine with doing
I mean,
that,
there's
if that's what you
businesses
want.
Well,
right up through
it
there.
fits
I
right
mean,
through.
why would you wanna, their
Right.
So-
driveway is right with the airport.
Yes,
So-
I was gonna say, it's right with Airport.
Will somebody make a motion to take no action that we
I'll make a
approve?
motion to take.
Excuse,
I'll second.
excuse me, I got,
Yes, Mike, yes, Mike. I'm sorry.
where it says, intended use commercial, and then it just says the state of W. Smith. What are they wanting to put in?
That's gonna be B1.
It's a
I think
B1.
they're
They can,
They just wanna zone it,
they
and
wanna,
do whatever
yeah,
they,
cause it's right now,
Well, they can
they're right there
sell
with the
it.
business on that, Mike.
okay.
Okay,
And that is what the future use map has
Yes,
it
as
zoned
business.
B. So it is consistent.
all right, so we got Bonnie with a motion.
I'll second.
I got, oh man, I don't know which one's
Who
Faith or
made the
Jennifer.
motion?
Faith got it.
Yeah, Faith was
Who
right.
made the motion?
Bonnie.
Bonnie, and then Faith made a second.
Okay.
Not-
Brad?
That we're gonna take no action, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
We're voting on no
Brad?
action, correct?
Brad?
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on, you all threw me off guard having a vote on this.
I went over and looked at it, nobody was there to talk to.
Right.
They
Paula?
passed away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Mike?
yes.
Faith?
Yes, yes.
All right, all right.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And Bonnie?
Positive.
Oh, it had to be different. Had to be different. All right, well, thank you all. No, Brad was first. Brad was first. All right, so we have no executive session. Planning and zoning,
Oh, well, we're not sponsoring.
Yeah, we're not.
no, we're not doing it. We're just saying, we made a motion to take no action, no approve. Yeah. Board of Adjustments, I talked to Dwayne, he said, he's done. Department heads, I got somebody. Tom LaFolly, come on up. Come on, talk about.
You said you talked to him, what did he say?
Oh, Dwayne Price, there's no action. There's nothing. I'm sorry.
Theirs is not till this week.
Yes, but the board of
Okay.
adjustments, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry.
No worries. All right. Tom, how the heck are you, buddy?
Fantastic. How about y'all?
Doing good. I saw you got started a little bit on that today. I was driving back from the golf thing, and I looked over to the left and saw the area of the Taco Bell that you started working on.
Cleaning.
I appreciate it.
Trying to make the city look nice.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the things we've been doing in the park? I mean, I think there's obviously some real cool things we're going to be doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions about anything in particular?
No, he's doing good, huh?
Well, one of them's thinking real hard.
I'm thinking real hard. I was trying to think of a question.
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
The property on Riverview that has a sinkhole, have you been back over there?
We've been there probably a dozen times.
I know. Well, I got a complaint a few weeks ago and I forgot about it, and they said that something about you were supposed to come back and put another fill in it before they hayed and seed it, and they said you had already hayed and seed it, and I forgot to tell you about it, so.
Yeah, I've not heard from them since we seed and strawed it.
Okay, well, that's
We've-
what they told me, is you were gonna come back and check it first.
Oh, we've
in
been
case
over there a
it-
couple times to check it since we've seed and
Okay.
strawed it, but, I'm making a note to call Mr. Donahue tomorrow.
Oh, I know him.
And he comes and visits me at my office, so.
Yep, I'll call him in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
have a question.
Yes.
Okay, in the park, you all cleaned off the area, by the Gaga Ball. There was a tree and you dug up roots and put, mulch.
Mhm.
My question is, are you all putting a stone border around
We
that
are.
area? Okay,
Mhm.
we just needed to know for the beautification,
Yeah.
cause we were wanting to plant some stuff in there. But
Yeah,
we'll wait.
absolutely.
So do you know when that will be?
So we don't. The mayor and I have been working on a partnership with a company that is a provider of landscape products.
Okay.
They don't actually do the work, but they can provide us all the material, and they'll also give us their dealer base who we can use if it's not something we're, comfortable with doing ourselves. So we've kind of been working this angle a little bit, so we got a lot of different things going on, so that ultimately it gets us things a lot less expensive.
Okay.
So, and when the mayor gets back, we'll be having a meeting with those folks and looking at some opportunities for a great partnership with our city, not just over there, but throughout the entire city. Have a vendor that can literally provide us just all sorts of things to really make our city look nice.
Good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, we've been the last 3 weeks really going at this. They've actually made some trails, got some really cool toys, but they're actually making a 5K trail for us. So you can walk behind the baseball field. It goes back there for a little bit. It has the mulch in it, and they're gonna press it down, make it like and you'll be able to, until we get additional funds, to actually make it an asphalt walking trail back that way to connect it to the other part of the park. But it will go back towards where the river bends. It goes this way, and then comes back down. And I tell you what, if you haven't walked that recently, it is one of the most beautiful things to see, is to look out at that river. It is really cool when you walk down through. My wife and I walked through there, and we're gonna do some areas where we can clean up the foliage so that there's really good areas that you can see. Yeah, the view of that river it's phenomenal. And
One of
so,
the new pieces of equipment that we purchased, it allows us to be able to stay in a safe spot and reach over the bank and clean some of that out so you can actually see those things.
yeah, we're gonna be doing some different
And we've
things
been
like
doing a lot of
that.
that.
But I think that having that, the 5K is something that we're putting in there for us to have for different events. But we are focusing and using that, again, with the school system, to make that the home field for all 3 high schools that they can use for 5K.
Absolutely.
Okay? Again, bringing folks to this city to do things like that would be great, but there is not a 5K, because if you know people that do cross-country, what are they doing? Running through the neighborhoods.
That's right. Right now they're running
They're
through
running through the
Sycamore Bend.
That's right, and that's right. Yeah, so we need to get them a place.
Yeah.
And that's what we're working on, Tom. I think it's been a great start to it. We got some really cool things that we're doing. We're cleaning up some foliage. We're gonna be putting mulch around a lot of the trees, new bleachers, new tables out there.
Yeah, if you've not been to the park lately,
Just
come
come see
see us, to see the different things we're doing. The problem is, if you come today, something will have changed tomorrow. Because everything is just changing so fast. Miss Lynn walks it about every day. She sees everything we're doing, and of course, we're trying to pick up the trash, but we didn't get there in time because she's picking it up. But yeah, come see the park.
Are you
There's a
working
lot
for
of
Public
changes.
Works now? Are you working for Public Works? I didn't know. I didn't know. No, listen, I'm excited because, what's nice about it, what's that?
That's nepotism.
I think it is.
I was
I
just
think
thinking she was building a resume for Parks and Rec Director.
Well, she works for water.
She does work for water. I do think that, I think what you'll see is, this is the low-hanging fruit. We got a lot of things going on in these big projects, but we want to start working on the park. We're gonna put things on that side while the other part of the park is being constructed. We're gonna put a
Well, another thing we're doing in the park, for those who may not have seen it, is our fence that we've been working on, the ranch fence. If you've not seen that, it's really cool.
It's
Quite
really
the
nice.
upgrade from the old fence we had. It was really 100 years old. But what we're also doing is we're using that fencing throughout the park to just aesthetically, for me, I'm using it to keep people from pulling off in the grass, but it's aesthetically looking, you know, there. So we got a lot of that going on. Another thing that we've got going on right now is we're gonna be going through, it's the time of year to start seeding and strawing. So you're gonna see some of that, but, you know, come spring, it's gonna look fantastic.
So I talked to Hagerman.
Hagerman?
They told me that they would be starting at the end of September. Is that still?
I would not
the
chisel
plan?
anything in stone until you see a shovel in the
Yeah,
ground.
because you've got.
Yeah,
the permit
because
for it.
weather plays such a huge role,
Yeah.
contractors play such a huge role. So we'd love to say yes.
I mean, have they
but-
done the bids yet?
So they're doing the bids now.
Okay.
They've got about another week or so, I
Yeah.
think,
Okay.
they've got. And I think
Now,
the
one
key,
thing we have done in the park, which is great for everybody to know, since we have this park plan, we now have our colors. We know what we're gonna be moving forward with. So as the mayor mentioned, some low-hanging fruit, it's just some of the structures that we currently have. We're going through, we're painting them, you know, gonna be power washing them to, you know, promote the colors that we're gonna have throughout the entire park. So you're gonna see that changing coming as well.
we're pretty excited about that, and I appreciate you folks. and you getting
It's
into it.
funny you brought that up. When I was at the farmer's market on Saturday, I was up there where the renderings were, and a man come up and he started talking. He said, I remember when we used to be able to drive around the river. Y'all remember that? I mean, me and Steve did it all the time. We went fishing. And I said, well, they quit. He said, but I used to be able to walk, and it grew up real bad. I said, well, you better go down there and look at it when you leave
Yep.
here. And it looked at me, you know, so he's like, oh, I'm so excited. He'll be able to fish.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited for things. Tom, appreciate, no, thank you.
Absolutely.
We got a lot going on, we've got some
Yeah,
good
we do.
projects. Thank you.
Come
very
see
much.
us.
Yep, thank you, Tom.
Thank y'all for what
All right.
you do.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank the beautification committee, and we have a member in our audience tonight, unless he's already left. There he sits. Thank that guy back there for all his wonderful
Yep.
help,
Thank you, Mr.
providing us
Bryan.
inmates,
Absolutely.
with the
Absolutely.
detention
Some
center.
good
Thank you,
folks out
Brian.
there.
We appreciate that very much.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Tom. All right.
Thank you, Tom.
Chief Smith. Come on down. Oh, you're not going together? Trouble and trouble, no you. All right, come on together. I don't.
Hey, it's been a little chippy this tonight, so I'm ready to work.
Come on. Come on, Chippies. Come on, Chippies.
I didn't have time to go get my vest on, so here we go. Just stand close.
I got you, buddy.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right, Chips.
Access is gonna open up if y'all have any questions. With the police department, we're working on a few things. I'm hoping I'll have something to report and get it finished, in October to report back to y'all. So I'll just open up to any questions y'all have of us.
We don't. Love what you're doing. Love the interaction with the community there. Steve, I know you got some things working too. Yep. No, I really do. Appreciate, okay, so one of the things that I want to keep pushing is the neighborhood watch. Neighborhood watch. We really,
We've asked that you to turn the water off so you could quit attracting people to the water.
so in all seriousness, one of the things that we are trying to do, and we talked to the chief about this, the best resource is eyes and ears. Folks in your neighborhood know when people go on vacation, you've got elderly people in your neighborhoods, really start to do that. We gotta bring that back because you couldn't have enough law enforcement to make it a zero-sum game. You just can't. So it's important for you to know that if we work together, we're gonna help the law enforcement expedite some of these criminal activities and catch some of these people, because the more that happens, the less the idea they're gonna think they're gonna come to Shepherdsville and get away with it. And that's what we have to do. So we all have to do that as a community. So let's keep focused on that as well, okay? So I appreciate that piece. Joe, why do you keep hanging out with him I tried to tell you, but it's
He
not.
rubs
the
off
best
on me,
thing.
he does, he rubs off.
What would you like to throw out there? You got anything?
We've
you
just
want-
been partnering together a lot with the 9/11 community events that are coming up this week and month, and it's going crazy. We have the 9/11 dinner on luncheon on
Yep,
Thursday.
yep, I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss
We
that,
have
yeah.
joint action with that. We have all the events that are in the park. We've been partnering on together, so there's lots of stuff coming up. We've just been partnering together. We just thought we'd partner together tonight.
Well, I know we say thank you for a lot what you guys do, but I don't, council, do you guys have anything you want for them? I mean, are we good? Are we good?
Were we supposed to contact you about the neighborhood watch signs?
Yeah,
That's-
Sergeant Roder's
Roder,
actually just
yeah.
back now
Okay,
this
cause
week.
I talked to him, so I already
did
told him
too.
I need one for my house since I'm my own neighborhood.
If you will wait here,
I am
I will
Oh,
go
yeah,
get
on the
you
one house,
one.
yeah.
And
Right
thank
now.
you all for bringing the fire truck to Family Fest.
Yep.
That was
That's
awesome.
good.
It was a good
Yes,
time Saturday,
thank you.
very good time.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Tommy,
You're
thank you
great.
all, thank you all. All right, council. Miss Paula?
I don't have anything.
She used it all up. All right, Bradley? Yes, sir.
Oh.
Bradley?
I was looking at
No,
the-
I'm switching it around a little bit. What you got, Brad?
Thanks to the downtown business people that came, I think, I speak for all of us, is when we took on the responsibility of taking out the huge loan and the park project and the aquatic center, that's the type of thing we were looking for. It was an economic driver. So to see those types of businesses, that's what we wanted. And for me personally, I think that's just the beginning. As you all build out, it's gonna attract more and more, and that's what we wanted to see. So thank you for being here. As far as the more legal way to do things going forward, and I think I read an article about the way Paducah does it, but I think they have a grant program where the city kicks in so much money for their downtown district or their redevelopment district, whatever it is, and then they do a matching type program. So if we have a building that they need $10,000 in renovations, they match up to a certain amount, which it may be 10,000. So if they have a $10,000 renovation, the city covers 5 and they have to cover the other 5. I think that might be a more appropriate way to do it versus, using how we did it before. And the reason why, and not to kick a dead horse, but the reason why we can't do that is, first and foremost, you can't use city resources to benefit individual people, but the other ancillary issues are, you're competing with private business that is engaged in that type of business.
Right.
And we don't want to do that. Plus, those people are skilled and bonded for that type of work. So if it's something like hanging a sign, well, if the sign falls and causes damage to the building, or God forbid it hurts somebody, then who's liable? And we don't want to put ourselves in that position where we're liable for damages and personal injury. So that's why those rules are in place, so.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for bringing that up and being open and honest about it, it's.
Yeah, because we do want you all to know that, again, for this audience and for everybody that's watching this, we want to make sure that everybody knows that we want to root for our city, but we want to do everything the right way. And if we don't do something the right way, we'll step back, we'll take ownership to it, and we'll get it fixed, we'll get it right, and we'll do it the right way, because that's what we want you to see. We're not losing our enthusiasm for all the developments. That ain't gonna happen. But it is more importantly that we do it the right way. So that's why we got her. So she's gonna send some information out next few weeks, give you guys something to think about. Got some different things you wanna look at. If there's anything you guys wanna research or we look at, I'm more than welcome to whatever you guys wanna do moving forward, right? So I think the grant thing could be a good thing for us. But if there's something else you wanna see in this, maybe, cause you can do a corridor kind of thing, right? You can make it from the Salt River to 44 and maybe designate the area and then see how that piece works. Cause we haven't dabbled too much in it. We just started researching it and Catherine's done some information, but she's gonna do some more. But whatever you guys wanna do, I wanna do it right, but I wanna do it with you guys, okay?
Okay.
All right, you good with it? All right.
Yeah.
Miss Jennifer, what you got? Did you want me to, you wanna go back to you? You wanna go back to you?
I just want to say Family Fest was super successful this weekend, and thank you Jamie Vest for putting that on. It was amazing. And next Saturday at the public library, there will be Mind Fest, and you can come out and see me again. I will be assisting Brad Behavior Solutions at theirs, so I'm helping someone for theirs. But yeah, so come out to Mind Fest. It's at the Bullock County Library, 10 to 3 this Saturday.
Thank you, Ms. Jennifer. Ms. Faith?
Nothing.
Okay, all right. Mike Hibbert, writing notes over there, I'm watching you. What you got?
Always
Got any
knows.
for us?
When I looked at tonight's agenda, I figured things were just gonna go lickety-split pretty fast, so there wasn't much of anything there, but now that the smoke's kinda cleared, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
from this
Yes, sir.
meeting.
Yes, sir.
I do like to comment the fact that, I think the mayor and I have talked from time to time, as everybody. I like to see the progress we're making, I agree with the progress we're making. First thing is, let's do it the right way.
Yes, sir.
So that we don't have to come back and,
Yes, sir.
and catch a bunch of blame. But, our department heads, good reports, keeping us informed about what's going on. And with that said, I would like to publicly acknowledge an individual in our audience, my lovely wife Karen. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Karen. Happy birthday to you.
It is also Bonnie Enlow's birthday.
Oh, Bonnie.
It's Bonnie Enlow's.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday,
All right, hold on.
Bonnie.
Okay, we gotta sing another birthday. One more time for
Bonnie
Bonnie now.
Enlow.
For Bonnie.
For Bonnie.
too.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bonnie. Happy birthday to you. Hey,
Thank you.
At least we
All right.
didn't get down as they do sometimes in the restaurants with the big
Yeah.
yahoo. at the
Or
end.
that, or get you a hat. Hey, how about whipped cream? Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday,
All right.
Karen.
Happy
You're
birthday,
welcome.
Miss Karen. Happy birthday, Miss Bonnie. Do you have anything you wanna? Did you have anything else you wanted to bring?
Brenda, send me the thing on the flood ordinance.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna look at that, because we do need to raise that to 2 foot.
We do.
That was the original recommendation, and I think we need to keep it at that. I'm part of the Animal Control Advisory Board. We're getting ready to vote on giving out the money on the spay and neuter. We've received all our applications for it, and so I'm getting ready to look at all of those. And just to remind everybody, please spay and neuter, and please get spay and neuter tags to help support your, that's how we pay, we put this money out, these grant money out to pay for that. So, and we're getting ready to have a competition, sort of like putting out for somebody to design, the schools to design a new tag. So we'll be putting that out soon. So if you've got some artists that wanna, kids that you know that wanna help design those, please do, because it's in need of a design.
All right.
Huh? We do 1 grant a year, and it's a matching grant, depending on how much money that we've took in for the years, how much we give out. A lot of times it's around $2,500 that we give out to each one. And so that does quite a few spay and neuters. But if more people would buy the tags, we could up that. We just need more tags sold, is what we need. That's how it's all paid for, the whole program.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
All right.
That's all I
Thank
had.
you all. All right, with that said, first of all, thank you all for being here today, and we appreciate, again, not to reiterate, small business, thank you. All the things that we're doing in this community. Shepherdsville is going to continue to grow and do good things, and that's because of all of you, and that includes all my council. All right. So with that said, I need a motion to adjourn. All right, and
Second.
all right, Miss Brenda.
Y'all are just too fast on me. Bonnie,
Yes?
Mike,
Yes.
Paula,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Faith,
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Thank you.